watching Power 4 with my uncle and my daddy.
Hey, yo, what it do? It's Big Dirty. I'm rocking with Power 4, Real and Wood.
What's up? My name is Justin Austin. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Make sure y'all check out the new podcast called Power 4 with Real and Wood, man. They talking about everything basketball, man. Make sure y'all check that out as soon as possible. You ain't got nothing else better to do but sit at home, work, listen to music, and listen to podcasts. So might as well add this one to the list. Make sure y'all check it out, man. These dudes are cool cats, and they know what they're talking about. Peace.
It's your girl Jazz Lewis over here at We Working, and I am definitely rocking with the squad, Real and Wood. Make sure y'all go check them out.
Yo, this is DeMonte Simpson, and I'm Power 4 with Real and Wood.
Hello, this is Mr. C, a.k.a. Clarence Swearingen, Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm rocking with Real and Wood on Power 4.
My name is Coach Nick Marshall, boys coach at Vine Middle School and head coach with TPE, Team Passion Elite, and I'm rocking with Real and Wood on Power 4.
Welcome back to Power 4 with your boy Real and Wood.
Hey,
Wood,
man.
it's good to be back.
Another great episode, man. Good old Buccaneer alum.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, before you introduce them, man, if y'all watching this video on YouTube, make sure y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button, man, as well.
Yeah, man, hit that like and subscribe button, man. But without further ado, man, my brother, Rashawn Rembert, the shooter.
Sir, yes, sir. We in the building, man.
Hey, man, before we get into this, though, man, I got to ask you, what was your most embarrassing moment on the court, man?
Oh, man. Are you talking about college or just period?
Man, period.
Man, when I was a freshman,
Ooh.
obviously it was, when you're a freshman, you ain't going to get no burn. So,
yeah.
Me and my roommate, he ain't get no burn neither. We used to just talk about it like, man, we good. We ain't even got to worry about playing this game, So we thought it would be a bright idea to go out there, no jersey on under.
Oh, man.
Man, somehow we was beating this team about 20. Yeah, about 20. The last 30 seconds, they want to just throw you in the game. Man, Rembert, come on, man. I said, oh, my jersey, man.
At this time, I'm hurt.
Oh, man.
Hey, I missed out on 30 seconds of PT, but it was worth it.
Oh,
Who did
man.
you do that with?
Huh?
Who you do that with?
That was with Ryan Woon, man.
Oh, man. I figured it was either him or Petey.
Oh, nah, Petey wasn't gonna let me fly for some stuff like that, man. He was a good dude.
Oh yeah. So man, when we get into it, man, tell us where you from. Tell everybody where you from, bro.
I'm originally born and raised Tampa, Florida, man. Shout out, go Bucks, Tampa Bay Bucks, Super Bowl champs.
Oh, man. Oh, hold up. Before we even go any further, though, I got to ask him a question, Wood. I mean, it should be obvious. But I got to ask you, man, growing up, what kind of football fan were you, man?
Hey, man, listen, I don't want to hurt your heart, but, man, you already
Oh, man, don't worry.
Hey, I'm gone. Hey, Power Forward, this is going to be the first time your boy Real is signing off. I can't mix blood. I'm out.
Signing out early. Man.
Oh, man. Nah, it's all good.
Hey, man, Jaquez Green, man, he's the one that got me on, too.
For sure, man. Y'all, hey, he was a beast, man. He was a beast, man. That dude was different in college.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't he play for the Bucks too, though?
Yes, sir. He from the city. He from the city, man. So it was all like that was, you know what I'm saying? When you got somebody that close, it's like, man, you could do it too,
For sure, man. Man, shout out to Tampa though, man. One of my buddies used to live in Tampa some years back, man, when I was single, man, and we would go down to the E-board, and go wild with Lil Wood.
Hey,
man.
Coach J worldwide, baby.
Coach J everywhere.
The fact that he know about E-board, that let me know he probably got some good stories to tell. He had a good time down there. It
Yeah,
ain't
for
nothing
sure.
but a good time.
For sure, man. So man, Rashawn, man, tell everybody like how you got started playing, how you fell in love with the game, bro.
Man, it's a funny story, man. I got an older brother, and then technically I got two younger brothers. So obviously my older brother he was a stud athlete, was more of a football player than anything, but you know how it is. You get out there in the backyard and he beating you up every time, you know what I'm saying, throwing you on the ground. And then he would lower the goal to the point where he could dunk and I couldn't. And I mean, after so long, you get tired of getting dunked on and, you know, getting your shot blocked. I was like, nah, I got to get better. So I worked every day. And it was funny because my mom used to be out there shooting with me. And she was like, nah, you shooting the wrong way. This is how you shoot. And she actually taught me how to shoot a basketball the right way. And I mean, from that point forward, just seeing the passion that she had for it, and you know, me having that fire to always want to compete with my brothers, that's what kind of led me to it, man. It just snowballed, man, snowballed.
Sure. Was there any people you kind of patterned your game after, or who was your idol growing up as far as for basketball?
That's a good question, man. I was a big Ray Allen guy, especially when we talking
See,
about
you
the
just
early.
got back on my side, bro. Well, he just got back on my side.
Shuttlesworth.
You all right with me? You all right with me, Rashawn?
Big Ray Allen, man. When he was with the Bucks, when he was with the Supersonics, man, it was nice where, you know, obviously they playing on the East or in the West Coast. I'll stay up 11, 10, 11, 12 at night watching them games, you know, and I got so many memories with him and Rashard Lewis on the same team.
Yeah.
Oh,
it kind of set me on
the
man, I was a big time Ray Allen fan, man. I'm actually a UConn Husky basketball fan. Okay. I'm talking growing up, that was my squad, man. And bro, like one of the most memorable games is for me with Ray Allen. Man, do y'all remember when Ray Allen, when UConn played Georgetown in the Big East tournament, bro? Oh, that game was off the chain.
Yeah,
that's a classic.
That's the ball fade Ray Allen. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was something different then, man.
Hey,
different.
They out there with the Concords on when they first came out.
Man, hey, listen, everybody on UConn had them, and only one person on Georgetown had them.
Yeah,
you already know who he was playing,
yeah.
It's crazy. I was big on UConn though growing up. I used to love Ray Allen, and I used to love Ben Gordon. That was, man, I could never. I used to try and imitate the floater every single day, every single second that I could, man.
Hey, Linwood, did you hear that? See, when you said that name, you just hurt his feelings. He thought I wasn't gonna say nothing. Yeah, look at your face, cause you know what we did to y'all.
Man, get that out of here.
Yeah, you remember.
Hey,
you remember it well, don't you?
Ben Gordon scored at will, man. I give him that.
Don't start bringing up them UConn squads to a Duke fan, man. He get real hurt, man. Khalid El-Amin.
Hey, man.
Hey, they don't know nothing about that, man. Todd Anderson, you know what I'm saying?
I'm about to go put my Duke hoodie on. That's right. Hey, man, but a lot of people don't know, man. Ray Allen, in the beginning of his years, he didn't mind dunking on you. He wasn't just the three ball Ray Allen, man. So it was like, man, I'm taking you off the dribble. You under the goat, I'm dunking.
Hey, then the legs started to get, worn down from all the running he was doing, chasing them three.
Hey, man.
He made the smart decision, though. 3 more than 2.
For sure.
So, man, in high school, did you have a rival?
You talking about just like a high school team rival?
Or just a player rival? Somebody that you knew, like, man, all right, I'm going against him. I got to go give everything I got.
Man, to be totally honest with you, man, I ain't really see nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It was just, I just saw myself and I was like a horse with the blinders on. You know what I'm saying? And that was just how I felt every time. Like there was nobody I looked at like, oh, that's my rival. Like that's who I'm competing against, because Man, I'm only in competition with myself. You know, I got to up what I did yesterday or up what I did the other night. So now I wouldn't say so much a rival. Now, if we're talking about people I hated to play against, um, there was a guy we grew up playing AAU basketball together, and he ended up going to Winthrop. His name's Andre Smith. He was a little point guard, probably about 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
Man, he was so fast and so strong, and he could shoot. It would frustrate me, man. You always want to put length on. You know, you want to match the size up. Like, okay, I'm a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. You know, I can. Man, it was before I knew it. I look up. It'd be the third quarter. I got 4 fouls. I'm like, yes, it's about to be. It's about to be a long one, man. It's about to be a long one.
For sure. Man, so coach, you said you mentioned something about AAU, man. So you said you grew up playing AAU. What team did you play on? Tell me about some of your AAU experience, man. What was that like?
Man, when I first got introduced to AAU basketball, I played for a team called Bay City Kings, and we were based out of St. Pete, and man, it was. I mean, that was my first time ever, you know, traveling, going somewhere to play basketball. You know, spending the night like that's different. You know, I'm just used to, hey, it's rec league. You got to wake up early in the morning, go play the game, and come home. You know, and you know, being able to do that was unbelievable, man. We had some really good players on that team. You know, obviously for some younger kids, I think I played with them until I was in 7th grade, and then my dad told me just to take some time off from playing AAU basketball because I played football too. And I had a summer where I broke my arm back to back. I got hit carrying a football with the helmet on, and then I was playing basketball at the park probably about 6 weeks after I got my cast off. Broke my arm again, man. So, yeah, I took a step back, and then I played for Florida Elite for 2 years, and then my last year, going into my senior year, I played for Nike Team Florida. So.
Okay.
That was awesome, man. It was great experiences all around both times.
Yeah, for sure, man. So tell me about some of them dogs you ran up against, man. Like who was in the EYBL when you were there?
My gosh, man.
Yeah,
man,
baby.
Listen, we had obviously each one teach one. So it was Austin Rivers and
There it is, coach.
Hey man, I got my own Austin River stories, man. My goodness.
Listen, I played against him. You know, I remember like when I said I started playing for Bay City, and we played against them back before it was each one teach one. They were called Team Stat, and they were like, "Man, it's Austin Rivers," and I'm like, "I don't know who that is." You know, like we 12, 13 years old. Like I'm not reading anybody's bio or looking them up on the internet. You know what I'm saying? YouTube wasn't big then, and they were like, "He's the truth, man. He's going to the NBA. His dad played in the NBA. His dad's a coach, or his dad was a coach for the Magic."
Yeah.
All right, man. We get out there, and he hit about 5-6 buckets straight. I'm talking about from the tip, and I'm like, damn, this different. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really used to seeing this. I'm talking about he was shooting it about 3 or 4 feet from behind the 3-point line at 13, and I'm like,
different.
Nah, yeah, this, he crossing over, like he's standing straight up, crossing you over, and I'm like, man, it just makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Some people just they bless, and some people just get that work in. They work a little bit harder. So
yeah,
but
that's crazy. Austin Rivers' name keep coming up like that, bro, because all of us, it's everybody that bring them up. Guess what? We all had the same result. Got torched. I was coaching, bro. I was coaching Atlanta Celtics back then, and it wasn't nice. It was not nice, man. Dude, hey, I'm gonna tell you what used to be real impressive. What he had at an early age. Y'all tell me if y'all remember this. Like, how you watch games all day. You see people make moves. You see people that's quick. Hey, dude's like first step and how hard he was going, dog. On attack mode.
Yeah.
It was different though. You know what I'm saying? At that age, like at like you said, at like 12 or 13, it wasn't a lot of players like guards like that attacking like that.
And that's one thing that I always like. That just stuck with me, from that moment when I seen him, because he would hit you with a little jab step, you know what I'm saying, jab 2 times, and then he would just blow right by you, and I'm like, okay, I think I got it down pat. He gonna jab twice and then just blow by me.
Yeah.
And then it turned into something else. Like he'll jab, take a step, draw back, and I'm like, no, we ain't, we ain't doing all of this. No, man. Let me, let's go ahead and get a switch. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was different, man, at a young age, and I got nothing but respect for him because he used to put that work in too. Because him and the team that he played on at that time, it was him and Shane Larkin on the same team.
Oh man!
And I mean, Shane Larkin, he could shoot, but he was just real, real fast, like more than anything, man. I'm talking about to a point where he was perfecting the let you dribble by him a little bit, and then he just gonna back tap it, like pop it up. Austin Rivers throw it to him, he'll shoot a 3 in the corner. And I'm like, man, I've never played basketball. Like, it was just helter skelter. We doing us, and you just gonna have to deal with it. And to this day, I think about it, and I'm like, man, I knew they was gonna be different. Yeah. They was definitely gonna be different, man.
Who else did you play against?
Man, because I know a lot of those EYBL teams end up moving to, I guess Under Armour or whatever. But man, Georgia Stars. I'm trying to think. We used to go at it with Houston Hoops. New Jersey players were so stacked.
Man,
he was always so stacked too.
Did you ever play against Lamb?
Say it one more time.
Did you ever play against Lamb with the Gauchos?
So I'm trying to think. When we played against the Gauchos, he didn't play. But I'm trying to think who they had somebody on their team who was in the NBA right now, but I'm just having a hard time trying to figure out or think about what his name. About 6'5", 6'6".
They had a squad.
Man, just a bucket every time, and you knew he was gonna drive, but you couldn't you just couldn't stay in front of him. He had so much length. As soon as he got the shoulder down, it was a bucket.
Man, I remember Deron Lamb came down. From half court, he threw a oop. We all back. We ain't pressing y'all. We back. He threw a oop. This kid go up, catch it, and tries to spin 360 on my dude hood. Thank God he missed. It was bad.
But just the fact he tried it though, huh?
Just the fact that he tried it. It's like, man, we 16. Why are you trying to 360, man? What are you doing?
Man.
Real.
I used to get mad sometimes because I'm like, obviously as you get older, you want to start checking the rankings and see who's playing and stuff. And man, my Nike team, Florida team, we were good. You know what I'm saying? Like we had some players on there, but man, we would run up against like Team Final who had Michael Gilchrist, and then they also had Michael Gilchrist. They had the one dude who went to Syracuse. They had Rakeem Christmas. And I'm like, I was supposed to stop out. Like, you know what I'm saying? They got 5 top 20 dudes on the team. Like, but man, at the same time, I used to love it because that used to be the grit. Like, I'm going to let you know who I am at this point. So,
Right.
Man, there's so many of them, though. So, California Supreme.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oakland Soldiers, we used to go against them.
So many teams.
Man, it was talented, man. It was talented.
Hey, so one more thing I wanted to ask you about the EYBL that a lot of people don't get the experience, and I think every coach, every player, every parent should get to experience one time the Peach Jam. What? Yo. Cause you was there when it was going really down. Like, man, explain that atmosphere, what it was like just to have the opportunity to make it to the Peach Jam and play in that joint. The Mecca. One of the Meccas of the South.
Definitely.
Obviously, you know what I'm saying, before I was ever on a Nike team, you hear about the Peach Jam and they're like, oh yeah, when you go there, it's gonna be everybody good and there's gonna be coaches everywhere. And I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing different than what you experienced at Disney. Nah, man, we pull up and we get to the facility and they tell us to park. We got to park our bus in the back. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. You know, why don't we just go through the front? But I seen the line. The line looked like, you know what I'm saying, almost like it was the club. Like everybody was ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was only about 8 o'clock in the morning, and we were there for a practice. We weren't even there for a game. So I'm like, man, why is this so? So I get in there, or we go to like a separate part of the facility. We practice, and then they're like, yeah, y'all want to go watch some games. So we go there, we walk down the hall, and obviously it's hard to get through the door because everybody is in there, like everybody. And as soon as we walk through the door, I just start seeing faces. I see Rick Barnes. I see Coach Calipari. I see Coach K. I see so many of like, I see the top coaches in the country, and I see the best players pretty much in my age and every other age. And you see they got one side of the stands that's just packed with people. Man, it was the best atmosphere I'd ever been a part of, man. I mean, and like just being a part of the EYBL circuit, period, was unbelievable. But man, like being in Peace Jam, it really lets you know like basketball can do a lot more than just, you know, it's a lot more than just the bounce of the ball, man. It can take you so many places.
Show you the world.
Man.
For sure, man. I got one of my buddies, man, Coach Burke in Atlanta, that runs a program called EOTO, man. But he from Patterson, you know what I'm saying? He from Patterson, New Jersey, and he's good friends with Mr. Jimmy who run the players up there. And man, we went down there, man, and I had a ball, man. It was when he had Isaiah Briscoe and he had Trey Duval. That's when Trey Duval was a freshman. And matter of fact, they won it. Hey, they won it with Trey Duval running point as a freshman that year. But man, we had a ball down there with them dudes, man.
New Jersey players always got a good team. Like when I played for Florida Elite and when I played with Nike Team Florida. Nike Team Florida was even worse because it was Miles Mack who went to Rutgers. It was Miles Davis who went to Xavier. It was Desmond Hubert who went to North Carolina. And then the following year when we played them again, they had those three guys. And then they added this kid who they were like, oh, yeah, he's only 15. It was Kyle Anderson who played for the Grizzlies.
Oh, man. How big was he then?
Yeah, big smooth.
They were calling him slow-mo. Like, they wouldn't even call him Kyle. They were like, yo, slow-mo, slow-mo. They would pick and roll slow-mo. I'm like, all right. I got the switch, and boy, he showed me why he was slow-mo. He hit me with the hezzy. And I'm like, man, it's like an old man. Like, I'm about to steal this.
Ooh.
Next thing I know, I look back, he at the rim with a left-hand layup. And there ain't much I could do.
For sure.
There ain't much you could do.
Love it.
Man, so tell us how the college recruiting thing went with you, how the whole process went.
My process was it was pretty quick, man. To be honest, like I was able to get a lot of interest, like I got more interest like around my junior year. You know, that's when I started to see like a good bit of offers come in. And then I had already had talks with ETSU, and I knew a couple people that went there. I knew Cooley, and I knew Salazzo, and I knew Praderis because when I played for Florida Elite. So it was kind of like a little bit of a connection there. And yeah, I mean, they called me after pretty much the night after my season ended my junior year. And they were like, hey, you know, we heard that you may be going to another AU team. We want to make sure we stay in contact and we're following you. Man, when I tell you, once live period opened up, they were there at every game, sitting courtside, Coach Wagers and Coach Bailey. And I was like,
yeah,
man, this, you know, and you go to the bathroom, you know, as soon as you come out of the bathroom, they like right there, they give me a little head nod, and I'm like,
I see you, you see me.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I took because I told my parents, you know, my mom wanted me to stay close, And I had an offer from Florida Gulf Coast and North Florida and Jacksonville as well. And I was just like, man, I went on my visit to Jacksonville, and I had a blast. Like, man, you want to party? Yeah, go ahead and hit up
Jacksonville. I
I
know
ain't,
about it too.
man, I never had such a good time, man. And then obviously once the visit was over, they were like, yeah, they were trying to get me to, push me to commit right there before I left. And I'm like, I got one more visit set up. Or I got to go to ETSU. So he's like, oh, you're not going to like it. It's boring. It's cold, like all of this. So
Yeah.
I get up there, and me and my dad go, and man, he wasn't lying. It was cold as hell. Like, I was just like, this is not where it's at.
Right.
It was not where it's at. I think it's like 30 something. And like we just hanging out, talking with the coaches and stuff. And I got to hang around the team, and then they actually let me watch their workouts and practice. And that was the first time that I got like a real understanding. Like, I mean, obviously I had been to practices before at USF and, University of Tampa, stuff like that. But, I got to see like, hey, I'm actually here. I'm courtside. You know what I'm saying? He can't bite his tongue. And I'm hearing everything he's saying. And I'm hearing how he's talking to him, but I'm seeing how they react. And I'm like, okay, like they got bigger goals. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys like Mike Smith and Justin Tubbs, like,
Yeah.
man, it kind of like it set that fire in me. Like, okay, this is where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? They developing players and they trying to win. Jacksonville ain't won a chip and been a minute. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
like, why not go to where the winners at and be able to develop myself into a better player. Plus, I needed to get away from home, man. My mom would have been trying to do my laundry every week she could. So
Right.
I had to get out of there.
I'm pretty sure you grew a lot getting out of Florida, just getting to a different environment where you didn't know nobody. You know what I'm saying? You had to start all the way over, socially and all that, I would imagine.
Yeah, man. I mean, they talk about, colleges where you grow up and you turn into an adult, but man, it really set in because there wasn't nobody telling you like, hey, you need to get up and go to class. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you need to go study, or you need to go X, Y, and Z. Like, only people who was telling me to do stuff was the coaches, and they were like, hey, you better make sure you at practice, better make sure you study hard. And if you hurt, you need to make sure you go to treatment. So like it took a little minute for me to really like adjust to it. Like, hey, I'm really on my own, you know what I'm saying? Like, Pops ain't finna come pick me up, like this is me against the world. And I mean, just being in a different, like, in Florida we talk about we the South, but like this is really the South. Like, you know what I'm saying? The accent, everything, man. I fell in love with it, man. I fell in love with it. So,
Man, what did you?
Cold weather.
What was the biggest shocker for you freshman year? Once you decided to commit, you step on campus, you think you ready. Was there ever a moment where you said, "Man, I don't know if I'm ready"?
yeah, that first day we did them workouts, man.
Ready to chuck it on up, huh?
Man, I had to, because we lifted and then we worked out, and I'm like, I'm ready for this. We get in there, we lift. Lift was real smooth. They ain't go too heavy. Man, we getting out there on the court. He was like, I hope y'all ready. Man, oh my gosh. I'm talking about we went for an hour straight. It was no breaks. They was yelling at you the whole time. And then they went to a port. It was only 4 of us out there. So like in the NCAA rules, you can only have so many in there, like in the, I guess, preseason or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it was only 4 of us out there. Man, before I knew, probably about 25, 30 minutes in, we doing one-on-one full court for about 10 minutes. And I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? And you stay on until you get a stop. Once you get a stop, that's when you get up. And I'm like, man, I'm already gassed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Boy, before I knew it, I had been out there the whole time. And then at the end, they talking about, he was like, all right, boys, let's go ahead. Let's shoot some free throws. We shooting free throws. I'm like, oh, man, we good. We done. He was like, whoa, before y'all leave, let's get on the line one time. I'm like, oh, goddamn, this is
more.
Pray for me, man. Yeah, pray for me. And then it set in that everybody was college players. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no more like, hey, I'm, you know, in high school, you can beat a man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just as strong as you, just as tall as you know, fast or if not faster. Like man, this ain't no joke. Going against guys like Cooley and Salazzo every day in practice, it just made it difficult, man. It made me a better player, but it definitely was. It set the tone to let me know where I was at.
Oh yeah.
Sure. I think people be just thinking it's sweet, man. That's why I was asking you that. You know, and I'm not trying to be critical of our young people, man, because Lord knows I love our young people, but I just see a trending thing where they think it's gonna be given to them and they gonna get there and it's gonna be this happy-go-lucky situation, man. And what they don't understand is it's a business too. It's a, you know, these coaches ain't playing, man.
That's the biggest thing that I mean, that I tell people even to this day. You know, like, oh, I coach at Webb right now, and I tell them, my man, y'all talk about playing college basketball. If you can't handle, you know, the way coach talk to you, and he be nice, like he being real nice.
Yeah.
Because when you get to that other side, and they tell you, you know, hey, you got a 1 year you got a 1 year renewable scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of each year, like your scholarship, you can come back, or we can just end your scholarship and you ain't coming back. Like they don't understand that reality when that set in, and you're like, okay, it's like I gotta get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like just simple as that. Like and nobody really understands that at all. And the work that you got to put in. It's not like, you know, in high school where you can just you practice and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? I may get some extra shots up here and there. Nah, you got to be a player 24/7, 365, or they gonna you gonna either get some splinters from that bench, or you're gonna be right back at the crib.
Sure.
People don't understand, man. That's that coach livelihood. If you here and I know I can't get nothing out of you, I can't do nothing with you. You gotta go home. I gotta bring in somebody that's gonna help me save my job.
All right, now our coach Wagers used to say every time we get out there, we working out or we practicing. He was like, I'm looking at some JUCO dogs right now. I got some JUCO dogs on the line. I'm waiting on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, somebody hungry.
Man, listen, I got nothing but respect for anybody that's ever played junior college basketball because that's it's a dog eat dog world. And I know some studs that went out there. They didn't have the grades to be able to move forward, but I mean, I already know if they was on a college level, they can definitely easily get buckets. Easily.
Sure. Right about that.
For real.
So, Coach, man, thinking about your time, think about your time at ETSU, man. Give me one of your memorable games, man, that sticks out.
Man, my favorite game that I would have to say was, man, we had so many just like classic ones because I played in both the Dome and I got to play at Freedom Hall.
Yeah.
So like that in itself was an experience, man. I guess my favorite game from the Dome was we played Lipscomb my junior year, and I think we played them to 3 overtime. Yeah, it was a 3 overtime game if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it was so crazy because it was in the conference tournament, and the winner of that game played Florida Gulf Coast. I think it was like 2 nights later. So man, we played them, won. I'm talking about by the time I left out of the Dome, it was probably like 11:30, 12. You know what I'm saying? Like we got iced up. Next day we had to wake up, beat out at the Dome at 10 so we can got on the flight, flew to Florida Gulf Coast, practiced, and then we played them the next day. Like it was just crazy, man, because it was a whirlwind of emotions, like being able to beat them, because we used to go at it with Lipscomb.
Yeah, all the time.
Man, like 3 overtimes. Everybody talks about that. They always remember that, man. Always. For real. My favorite one in the Dome was we played Stephen F. Austin. Okay. And that was before like the Dome or the Freedom Hall was our permanent game residence, man. and I'm talking about they were nice. Like I think they only lost one game coming in to play us. They were like 11-1, 12-1. And they jumped out on us quick. It was like 16-3. I'm like, yeah, they about to dub us. You know what I'm saying? We're about to pass the stick.
Yeah.
And before I knew it, man, like I started hitting shots. And then one of my teammates, Jalen Riley, started hitting shots. And man, we started pressing them. And we, obviously it's the dome get loud. It's almost like they just popping you. So, dude, it just took it to a whole nother level, man. I love that was my favorite game that I've been able to play at Freedom Hall,
man. For sure.
Hot started knocking them down.
So, man.
They said
probably at about 4 or 5.
Hey, word is, if they leave you in the corner, they in trouble.
So,
man, corner boy, man. Y'all didn't have Lester on here, man. Lester know about the corner boy, man. We call ourselves when we was freshmen. And we used to put us on the practice squad, and man, we'll go up against obviously the first team, but they already knew they could guard. All you got to do just make us dribble. As soon as we catch it in the corner, that was 3 points. Might as well just get back on defense, man.
Hey, man, it's funny you say that, Rashawn, because it's one place you didn't mention hooping in, and that's the CPA, man. I don't know if you was on that team that came in there and was like, man, we just got done practicing. What's up? Who want to play? I remember Petey was on it. Boy, we lit them up. Lit them up. Was you on that team? I don't remember. Was you on that team that we beat?
I'm trying to think.
My jersey retired in the CPA.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, my boy. I do remember that. I was not on the team, but I was in the stands for that.
Okay, long as you was there to witness.
Yes, yeah. Hey, Linwood, I've always given you credit because you was out there. You used to get work out at the CPA, boy. You need to be a physical trainer the way you was giving out work, boy.
Hey, man, it was always fun.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, y'all used to go crazy in the CPA. It was a couple of y'all that was, man. There was a couple of y'all that was in there. Then you had a couple of them boys that was just in there to
terrible.
Yeah, in there to beat you up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Football players, man.
Yeah, they want to WWE wrestling champs, man. I'm like, man, I ain't coming for that.
Nah,
for sure.
I already hit the weight some good on that.
Yeah.
So, man, at ETSU, your career high was what?
My career high was 33.
Cooking, baby. Against who?
33. I had 33 against Florida Gulf Coast, and then I had 33 against we played Eastern Kentucky.
Ooh, I was hoping you didn't say my alma mater, man. I was hoping. I was like, please, don't say it. Cause I think y'all should have been in the same conference still. Didn't y'all used to play Georgia Southern?
No. So Georgia Southern, I'm trying to think. The year.
Okay.
Yeah, they got out of it. Okay. Yeah, they ended up getting out of it at that point, just for football reasons, obviously.
Right.
You know, ain't no need for them to try and play against them. Ain't no need to try and play against some of them other schools. They was just dominant. So.
We used to smack people in football, Wood. Mm-hmm. Hey, Wood, we had a dude. Nah, I'm for real. This dude was the realest, man. We had a dude named Adrian Peterson, bro. Man, you got to look his YouTube up. I'm serious. When we get off here, look up Adrian Peterson stiff arm Georgia Southern, bro. You're going to be like, oh, my God, I ain't never seen nothing like this.
They want none of that.
Man, this dude had dreads. I don't know why.
Yeah, okay. He had dreads. He was from Florida. He from Florida, okay. Bro.
Oh, so I just need to go look him up because I'm the only one who know who it is.
Man, this dude was real. This dude, I'm telling y'all, this dude was real. He made it to the NFL. He played in the NFL for a little short stint with the Chicago Bears. But bro, in college, man amongst boys.
I believe it.
Don't worry, I'm gonna send you the footage, man.
Please do.
Coach, where was the toughest place you played at while you was at ETSU?
I know Linwood gonna hate to hear this, man.
Uh-oh.
University of North Carolina, man. It was so crazy.
I remember when I went down there.
Oh my gosh, man! Listen, everything that you see on TV,
That's
like
what it is.
it's exactly that. I mean, if you can just, I'm talking about, as soon as you walk in, you walk down the little hall, you walk into the arena, and I'm talking about, you just look up, it's that Carolina blue, and you see them jerseys in the Raptors.
Yeah.
Man, it ain't no better feeling. And then when you come out there to start warming up, and they got the whole student section, they jumping,
Yeah.
they screaming your name, and they, talking about this, that, and the third, and what you ain't gonna do tonight. Probably hands down, man, one of the craziest atmospheres that I've been able to play in. Hands down.
And you gave them buckets.
Yeah, I gave them a little bit of work. I mean, they drubbed us, so it ain't too much I can really say on my part, but.
What North Carolina squad? Who was all on that squad?
So that was P.J. Harrison. That was Reggie Bullock. That was James McAdoo. That was Marcus Page.
Yeah.
I think that was Marcus Page's freshman year.
Yeah.
Man, they were just better than us, man. That's the best way I could put it. I mean, there ain't much we could really do with them. They were so big inside, and then they were real deal. That's all. I'm just leave it at that. It was a real deal.
Let me ask you this: was you in the same? You wasn't in the same class with McAdoo, were you?
Yeah, I was in the same.
You
class.
was okay. So see that I've been trying to figure it out because I've been coaching so long I can't remember the classes because you was in the same class that I coached a team that was in this class because them were the guys that was in this class: Austin Rivers, McAdoo, Gilchrist.
Yeah.
Was Trey Burke in this class?
Yes. Yeah. Trey Burke. Listen, I played against Trey Burke.
Burke was real.
Yeah, I played.
When he was on All Ohio Red.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wood.
I remember that team.
He was insane, man. He was literally insane, and when the AI comparisons are there, but when I say Buddy had a burner, he could shoot it.
Yeah.
Man, a couple steps past half court, he was letting it fly, and it was all cash.
Man, and I don't even remember the kid name. Kendall Marshall. Kendall Marshall was another tough one we played against in that class.
Yeah, man, it was so
North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
It was so many studs, man. Like, just every time I think about EYBL, man, I'm just thankful I had that opportunity, man.
See, man, Pete's Jam was the blow, but man, if you was at Boo Williams, you was something.
Oh man,
because Boo Williams, every game you had to go in there with your shoes tied, ready to go, or you was gonna get blown out.
Man. My first game that we played at Boo Williams, we played Alabama Challenge, and they had. I'm trying to think. They had a couple of dudes on the team that were obviously already committed to Alabama, and they were juniors, about to be seniors, but they had Levi Randolph on that team. They had what's his name, man? I don't know why I can't think of it now. Trevor Lacey, that's who it was.
Mm-hmm. Kids that could go.
Which side was you on at the Boo? Was you in the bougie side or the hood or the old side? You know what I'm saying? Which side was you on?
So when I got there, I'm trying to think. We played one game in the old side, but for the most part, we was always in the bougie side. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey man, that's the spot though. Hey, ain't nothing like. Hey, you feel like you at the Final Four, man. That's what I felt like. I felt like we was at the Final Four of AAU. You know what I mean?
It was incredible, man. It was just being able to be in that atmosphere, man. And then you had Boo Williams just walking around talking to everybody, shaking people's hands and giving them five. And I'm like, Buddy don't know me at all, but he was like, "What's up, little man?" Gave me 5. I'm like, "It's crazy." So it was a great experience, man. And their team was crazy. McAdoo, Justin Anderson.
Yeah.
Well, they had one more kid on the team. He ended up playing at Virginia too.
Mm-hmm.
It was cold.
Squad.
Yeah, always.
One thing that I always loved about your game, bro, you didn't miss from the corner. That's one. But if the other team fouled you and you went to the line, you shooting 86% of them.
Man, my dad used to talk about they free. They at the charity stripe, they free. You got to make sure you make them. Yeah. He used to say that so much, it used to annoy me. I'm like, man, I'll make them, I'll make them. He was like, when it count, you need to make them.
Yeah.
I made sure I made them, man. I wanted to make sure that, because he was like, that's free money. Everybody miss out on it.
Yeah. And I mean, as a guard, especially at that next level, that's one thing that you have to do is make free throws. You have to make free throws.
Yeah.
For sure, man. They key. I know about it because we just lost a game last night, not being able to hit free throws down the stretch, man. Yeah. And what's crazy, we've been making them, but something about last night, man, you know how it go. 1 or 2 guys started to miss, and it became a whole thing. Before you know it, even in my heart, I'm sitting over there like, man, please make it, please.
Yeah. Hey, man, you miss a free throw, it's like a yawn, man. You yawn, everybody else gonna start yawning.
Yeah. Sometimes it get contagious. And last night, it was contagious, man.
Like you said, it's basketball. The ball gonna bounce your way. Sometimes it ain't, but
for sure.
Free throws is key, man. Those are big. People always talk about, man, I could average 20. I'm like, well, I mean, if you made more free throws, you probably could have had 20.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, man,
Coach, what did you major in at ETSU?
I majored in criminal justice, man.
For sure.
At first, my dad's been a lifelong police officer in Tampa for, I think at this time now he's right at 26 years. So, I mean, I was, thinking about following those footsteps, but obviously, a lot of times people don't understand when you go to college and you get a degree, you don't really work in your same field that you get a degree in. So
that's right. That's right. Cause right here, man, I got a marketing degree that I ain't never used.
Yeah.
I've been working with kids this whole time. You know what I'm saying? Just being real, man.
That's how it go.
The funny part about it is I got more out of all of the time that I volunteered. So even though, I had, I was getting a marketing degree or whatnot, the work that I was doing in the time that I was volunteering and stuff was always geared back to kids. So the free stuff I was doing was really the thing that was getting me prepared for my career, which is crazy. Yeah. And the college degree was just the paperwork I needed to get through the door.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Knowing what I know now, I mean, obviously, that's why, you get older, you get wiser. But, man, I would have easily started to just look into other things that I felt would be more useful. You know what I'm saying? Like, college was fun. It really was.
I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, man. If I could do it all over again, as far as if I had to go back to college and I got to get a degree, y'all know what I'm doing?
What?
Man, bro, I'm just gonna be a gym teacher, man, and call it a day. If I gotta work in the school system, bro, I'm gonna be a gym teacher. Yeah. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna put my sweatpants on. I ain't even gotta iron my shirt.
Nah, you don't gotta do none of that.
We gonna play kickball today, basketball tomorrow. Come talking about life skills on Wednesday.
Come on with that dodgeball.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah, trust me, I'm probably right there with you, man. I'm right there with you because it's crazy, man. You get the degree and you automatically think, hey, I got to get into the corporate world, or you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it don't really work like that, man. Yeah. It don't really work like that.
Coach, I probably would have been. I'm gonna give you some advice, Coach. Man, shoot, follow your heart, man. Follow your passions, bro. follow your passions, man. You know that, but for sure.
Hey man, a lot of people don't know this, man. But your playing days didn't end at ETSU. Tell us about that process, bro.
So man, once we finished the season at ETSU, I mean, I had already talked with my coach. At the beginning of the year, he was just like, "Man, what do you want to do after this?" And, I mean, to be honest with y'all, I was seriously considering just going back to school to like be a coach, be a GA. But at the same time, I still had aspirations to like take basketball a little bit further. And he was like, I mean, you work hard enough. You got, your game's pretty good. I think you got a chance to play overseas. And man, I was, the whole time like, you're just saying that to say it, but we'll see. And man, before I knew it, obviously once that season ended, I was getting contacted by just, different people, different numbers. And I'm like, I don't know who this is, so I'm not gonna pick up. And then I'm listening to voicemails, and they're like, "Oh, this is such and such with this agency." And I'm like, "All right, I guess." I talk with my dad and stuff, and man, I end up signing with an agency. They go by archery. They got a couple of good clients with them. They got Rakeem Christmas and their PJ Tucker's agent. Man, Scotty Wilbekin's agent, or they were his agent for a little bit. Like, they had some good dudes, man. So I ended up signing with them. I played a year in Argentina. I did a small tour in China. I went to Guangzhou and I went to, I'm trying to say, I think it was Gangwei. I think that's what it's called. And then that was only like 3 or 4 months. And then from there, I played in England for a year, so it was incredible, man. I definitely, injuries and then obviously just life, it gets to you. You got to hang it up pretty quick, but it was worth every second of it.
I ain't gonna let you slide that fast. Hold up. Hold up. He tried to skip over it real quick. Wood.
Yeah, he did.
Young man coming out of college going to Argentina. Oh my man.
Hey, Argentina was probably some of the best basketball that I've ever been around. Definitely some of the best basketball I've been around. But man, the people, it's crazy.
Yeah. I know it's a lot of love there, man.
Man, it's so, listen, but one thing you cannot ask them, don't ask them who's better out of Michael Jordan and Manu Ginobili.
Yeah.
Listen, they'll go with
Ginobili.
Man, they'll go with your neck. I'm like, no, Michael Jordan, 6'6". And they're like, no, Ginobili 5. He worked harder. I'm like, nah, man. I ain't trying to hear that. Man. And they were like, oh, there'll be no Euro step without Ginobili. I'm like, okay. They got a point, but everybody want to be like Mike. I'm like, there's a reason why you got those shoes on and why you stick your tongue out when you're shooting a jumper. You know what I'm saying? Why you want to do the up and unders? Like, it's Mike, man. It's Mike.
But hey, you gotta understand though, Coach. Ginobili is their Mike.
Yeah.
I could not hear that enough. You know what I'm saying? And that
they get a kick out of the fact that a guy from their area is out from where they from is out there like really doing his thing out there though. You know what I'm saying?
It's true, man.
Like really do.
I respect it. That's why I'll just leave it at that. I always respected it just because, I mean, man, you just don't see it happen too much, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially like in the NBA, you get a couple of guys that come from overseas, and it's just like, he's been a solid role player. But Ginobili was a bucket. He could have probably started on any other team. He definitely could have started on any other team other than the Spurs. So, I mean, it just makes sense, man. He was the ultimate team guy. So, like, that's why I got love and respect for it for sure.
Oh, yeah. Now, while you was over there, did you, like, play against anybody that ended up going to the NBA, like a Luka? Well, I know you didn't play against Luka, but I'm saying just like somebody like that was up and coming.
So, I'm trying to think, there was, I mean, but he wasn't even like, I think he was only like 16 at the time, 16, 17. But he was recently drafted this year. I remember when I played against him because he played for he played for Boca Juniors. Man, I can't even think of his name right now, man. But man, it was being able to go over there as like my first experience because I mean I had been through training camp like because I got drafted to the G League before I went over there. But man, that let me know like basketball is not only worldwide, but man, there's so many different like elements and ways to basketball.
Yeah.
And the way that they were like thinking and playing the game, like, you know, he's 16, 17, and man, he was walking you down in the paint. He was about 6'4", walking you down in the paint. I'm like, nah, you ain't even got no facial hair, man. I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna try to buck up on this dude. Nah, man. He was crafty. I'm gonna try and figure out his name, remember his name, man. But I remember him because when he got drafted this year, me and my wife was watching it, and I was like, yeah, I played against him, man. I'm telling you, I played against him. And I went back, looked it up on my phone. I'm like, yeah, he was there.
Yeah,
He was definitely there, man.
Sure.
For the most part in Argentina, I played against like people that had played in the NBA and then end up getting out. So like Sam Clancy was one of them. Josh Powell, who had played for the Lakers for a long time.
Yeah, I remember NC State.
Yeah, NC State, Josh Powell. Walter Herman, who played for the Pistons for a long time, man. Who else was out there? Man, like Larry O'Bannon. It was like a bunch of just like older dudes who, you know what I'm saying, could really get it after it, man.
Professional.
I respect it, man. I respect it to the max.
What was your hardest? Or I'm gonna ask you this, man. What do you think is the biggest myth about playing overseas?
Man, I can be honest with you. The biggest myth is that everybody's making $1 million overseas. Like everybody believes that when you get over there, you're just making bread. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you're getting paid a pretty good living, but at the same time, like it ain't really always like that. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, we talk about pay. It's times where you're gonna have to go up there and knock on that manager door and be like, hey man, like, you know,
I ain't get paid.
It's the first of the month, you know what I'm saying? It's about that time. Yeah, where my check at? And you know, like, oh, you know, oh, we forgot, we're sorry, you know, and then they come with cash. I'm like, yo, you forgot, okay. Yeah. But it was just right there, like, that's probably the biggest myth, man. And I mean, just for them to think that they soft, that's the last one. Those are my three biggest ones. People think you get paid $1 million. Two, people think that, you know, it's just sweet, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to really grind for yours. And then that last one, man, they think it's soft over there. They'll hit you with a hard foul and it'll just be like a rate. I'm talking about the playoff fouls that we see, people get pushed in the bag, you know, people getting yanked out the air, stuff like that. Yeah, they'll do that to you, and they'll just be a common foul. You go to the line, shoot your 2 free throws, and get back on D. Like, when that happened to me, I was like, nah, we got to scrap. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So I would imagine some of the American players take it, get picked on when they first come over, especially younger guys in them leagues.
Oh, yeah, man. Like, because they know, you know, obviously it's pretty much like league news. So, you know, like, oh, new signing, such and such, you know, and you'll play on this day. Like, they'll put when your first game is going to play. And, man, it's like, it's almost, man, I'm talking about, I didn't really know what to expect. But once I got out there and I saw that they were running a little floppy action, you know what I'm saying? One screen and double screen on both sides. I'm like, oh, okay. And I got across that second screen, buddy had his forearm up like this, and he caught me dead in the throw. I said, nah, man. Nah, this ain't where it's at. This ain't where it's at, man.
Oh man.
I thought I got away from the park. Nah, they doing it out here on the court for real.
For sure. So, Coach, man, I want to transition a little bit, man. If we can, man, I'm thinking about, we crossed paths, man, and I didn't get a chance to rap with you. How did you start coaching, man? I see you coaching at Webb now, but how did you start coaching?
So Webb is actually the first. I mean, I guess I did like a little bit of like helping out on AAU teams and stuff. Whenever I was home in the summer, back in Tampa. But when I moved out here, I just play basketball all the time, man. And you're meeting and running into so many people. After a while, they start to remember you, remember your face. And a guy I played with, James, he was like, "Hey, man, would you mind to help out our team? Like, just come and practice with us." And I was like a high school team? He said, "Yeah." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll come. I'll help y'all practice," because they were getting ready for, I think it was like sub-states or something like that. So I go over there and I practice with him. And he was like, the coach walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, would you mind coming back tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I come back the next day and the next day. And before I know it, I had been coming for, I had been there for a week and a half, like just showing up to practice after work. And he was like, "Hey, would you want to help us out?" And I was like, "Oh, like come and practice more?" He was like, "No, like be a coach." Because there'll be times where, I'll stop mid play and I'll be like, "Hey man, like you can't let me get this type of position on you." You know what I'm saying? Like it just makes it that much easier for you. You need to either draw a foul or get a layup. Or like, "Hey, that's not how you take a charge," or you got to know your position, you got to know who you're playing with. And he was like, "I mean, I see the way you talk to the kids and they listen to you. You want to be a coach?" And I didn't really think much of it, but I was like, "Well, sure." You know what I'm saying? Like just another thing to keep me closer to basketball. And man, it definitely it did wonders for me being able to be a part of it, man. Like, I'm pretty sure y'all probably know a couple of the kids that I coach, like Brandon and
Oh yeah,
Boski,
for
like
sure,
man,
for sure. That's kind of why. That's kind of what I was leading into, Coach. Man, but before we even get to that, man, I want to talk about just the experience that you're getting, because I got a lot of respect, man, for Coach Norris. Uh, I like the way his teams play, man. I like the way he goes about his thing, man. I hear nothing but good things about his preparation and some of the things he does off the court. So just speak about that, man, a little bit. What's it like to get to soak up energy from like a high school Hall of Fame coach?
so this gonna sound crazy. I mean, it's gonna sound crazy and funny at the same time, but it definitely shows you how God works. I played. Oak Ridge came down to Tampa and they played in a tournament, and
Yes,
we played Coach Norris's team. Yeah,
When was this?
and I when I first this was 2009.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 2000.
Did they beat y'all?
Yeah, nah.
Oh man.
They didn't beat us. We won by, I think
don't play him
we
like
won by
that.
like, yeah. I mean, listen, they had a good team. Like I ain't gonna lie to you,
Listen
they
to
had a
me,
real good team.
they
But
was full of dogs. That was Quinshea, Trey Smith, Odom, DeMarcus Rogers. They had a
they
squad.
had, yeah, Jared was on that team. I think,
Jared,
yeah,
yeah.
what's his name? Jared was on that team. Like man, they played hard, but I mean, we had too much size for him at that point, man. At that point we had the number 3 player in the country on our team, man, John Henson. So
Oh yeah.
I mean, they step into the paint. You can't throw up a floater or a layup. Like he gonna block it off the backboard, and we just gonna run and get a fast break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but man,
Then would
Coach
you
Norris is.
go ahead? You good? My fault, bro.
Oh no! I was gonna say, Coach Norris is. He's what you want in your coach. You know what I'm saying? like Linwood said, he got a bunch of dogs, but that's only because he a dog himself. Like he ain't gonna let you cut corners, you know. And that's what every player needs. Like somebody like it's I've seen coaches or like there's been coaches that I've come in contact with that they'll tell you what you want to hear, and not really what you need to hear. And that's Coach Norris. Coach Norris gonna tell you every time, man. It's a blessing I'm able to be under him, man. Learning from, like you said, preparation is his biggest thing, man. He gonna make sure you prepared. As long as you listen to what he say, and you go out there and play to the best of your abilities, we can live with the consequence. But he gonna make sure you prepare. You gonna know.
For sure, man. I really like their style, Linwood. I'm pretty sure you done seen Ricky's teams play, and I like their style of basketball, the brand they play, as far as sharing the ball. It really their style is really the style that's kind of for now. You get what I'm saying? Everybody being able to move the ball, everybody being able to shoot, everybody being able to dribble, everybody being able to pass. So I was really excited for B and real excited for Boski too, man. Both of them young men, man, that it's close to the heart. You get what I'm saying? Because I watched them dudes grow up from. I can remember when they was missing teeth and running around with little silver teeth caps on their mouth. You know what I mean? Yeah. So to see it grow to this, man, and to see those guys playing the right way, man, I'm thankful for y'all guys, man.
I don't think they understand how much potential they got, man. I mean, when I first met Brandon, I told her, I was like, man, you're going to be something different. Like, you know what I'm saying? The world is your oyster, bro. Like, yeah. As long as he puts the work in, him and Boski, I just seen the sky's the limit for both of them, man. And they, like, it's different when, you know what I'm saying, you meet kids and, like, they good and they know they good. So you can't really, you can't tell them anything.
Coachable. You can
tell them anything. I've watched Coach Norris, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I've watched Coach Norris rip them up. And then they just, that's pretty much Boski give you a bet. And then you go out there and go get it. Same thing with Brandon. Brandon, okay, Coach, go get it, man.
Coach, man, that feel good right there, don't it, Wood?
Yeah.
Because we watched them boys come up, man. A lot of dudes done been hard on them cats, man. A lot of dudes done been hard on them cats, man. So it sounds good to and it's good to know that they there and being mature. You know what I mean?
Man, another steal y'all got over at Webb, Eli Vickers, man. I'm telling you, that's
come on now.
Hardest working kids I've ever met in my life.
Character, baby.
That I told when. That's Tyler Hansborough, man. I don't want to say it like that, but that's T. Hansborough, man. His motor is insane.
He don't stop.
He'll outwork you, baby.
Oh my gosh. It's so crazy, man. If he gets, I mean, obviously he's gonna get it at some point, the more skill, if he gets the skill to match his motor, get some more size on him, man.
Over with.
Don't let him get to 6'6", 6'7". We might be looking at something we ain't never seen before. He a wild man. I'm telling you, Tasmanian devil.
For sure, man. Coach, we had a battle with these boys, man. Early in the year.
I was there.
Early in the year, Coach. They got us, man. They had us scrambling, Coach. Yeah. They had us scrambling.
I was there, man. It was definitely a good one, man.
Coach. Every time I look back at the tape, had us scrambling.
Oh man. Hey, it was a good battle though, man. I can't wait to see more of those battles.
For sure. We got to stay on the schedule, man. Coach Wright and Coach Norris got to make that thing work. I think they got to do it just for the city. You get what I'm saying? Because 2024 is lit with talent. And I want to see the high school coaches make sure that they step out of their little classes and all that stuff, and let's make sure we have those games because it's big for the city. I think, man, to see that.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I'm still. I ain't gonna say fairly new to Knoxville basketball, Tennessee basketball, but you know, it's still played. Like I don't really know as much in terms of like deep rooted history, but man, I love like I want to play guy. I want to play y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like when I saw we was playing y'all, I was like, Coach, how you get this? He was like, oh, it's man. I'm like, that's cool. Like let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I look forward to, and they enjoy it too. You know what I'm saying? Because they know they know most of those kids, probably all of them when they play against them. So it makes it that much better.
For sure, man. Steel sharp steel.
For real. For real.
Right about that, man. Hey Jay.
Yes, sir.
Another great one, man.
Another great one, man.
I told you, man, one day we was gonna catch him, man. I just happened to call him. Hey, man, I'm free. I said, well, jump on here. Let's get to it.
For sure. Hey, Coach, man, make sure you keep doing your thing, man, and take care of my guys, man. And when you see them tomorrow, tell them I said what's up. Tell Boski I still can cross him up. Still can't guard me. B know what it is. I'm gonna rip him every time. Tell him I'm waiting on that weak crossover.
I got you, man. I got you. I appreciate y'all boys for having me on.
One more, Coach. And tell my boy Lucas Wiles, I said, what did it do? And Eli, Coach, I got love all over, man.
Hey, man, that right there, that definitely lets me know where you at, man. I got nothing but love for Mucus, man. I got to call him Mucus because I can't let him get too cool, man. He already got the hair. He too cool right now. You know
Mucus, I love it.
Mucus.
You know, hey, man. Definitely another good time, man.
For sure.
Coach, man, we definitely appreciate your time, man. Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all boys, man. Y'all definitely keep this thing rolling, man. Keep it rolling, because this what people need. This is what the city needs, especially when we talk about basketball. They need to really hear these people.
Yeah.
Really need to.
Man, it's been another fire episode of Power 4 with your boy Raylan Wood. Signing off, man.
You already.